It's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S., Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 681. We are a podcast talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
And I'm Ari Rockefeller.
We have no Mako-chan tonight because of Mother Nature. And it's not what you think. Mother Nature came through with a thunderstorm and knocked her power out, so she'll be back next week. So now you gotta deal with us good fellas, you know?
Oh yeah.
Which I have to admit, Ari, you got that really good fella look going for you today. It's like a cross.
Well, I did end it, huh?
It's like a cross between a fellow Goomba and Sami Zayn.
Well, mostly I had to trim up my beard so that the CPAP mask would fit better.
I hear you. It's like I can't do like a beard to save my own life. I can't do one to save my own life because it gets all scraggly, and I just don't have the patience to actually make it work, you know? So a goatee is fine. It doesn't irritate me. And I have to remember periodically, you know, to like trim right around the lip area, make sure it looks nice and neat. And thankfully with the aftershave, whatever I use after I shave it just makes it look kind of neat and just good for the most part. So I might switch it up in the future, see how it goes. So I kind of want to look kind of smooth, you know. So and all that good stuff. So anywho, enough about that. Tried to push off the ad break, so if you are subscribing to the feed, you don't have to worry about it. If you're watching for free, well, I'm sorry. But, you know, we got to pay our bills one way or another. Anywho, Ari, how are you doing tonight?
I've been pretty tired lately.
I feel you. I'm sweating, but not as much because I have a much more powerful air conditioner, but it's not as powerful as it should be, and I realize this room needs an 8,000 BTU air conditioner because of all of the electronics that's in here. I can move about maybe a foot that way. It'll be nice. I can leave my room and come back in, and I'll feel the AC, you know, but I deal with it. It's not so bad, you know. As long as I'm not sitting here sweating like a sinner in the church on a Sunday morning, I'm quite all right.
I've just been having the AC running most of the time.
Woo. I do not sympathize for your bill.
Yeah, it's going to be rough.
Well, look at it this way. It's only you, so it's not so bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, anywho, moving right along, we're live tonight, week of July 8th, 2025, right here on Twitch TV. You'll always find us here live on Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern. You can always find us at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session. We're also proud to be part of the Voice of Geeks Network at vognetwork.com. And you can check them out at vognetwork.com. And they're also on Twitch. They are at Twitch TV/vognetwork. They kick things off on Sundays with the Bobby Blackwolf Show starting at 8, followed by Orange Lounge Radio at 9, and we bring it home on Tuesdays. And they come hang out in our Discord, vognetwork.com/Discord. Every show is part of the Voice of Geeks Network, has their own channel. So come through, hang out, have a good time. The pool is open, so enjoy. So, anywho, moving right along. Ari, how was your day? How was your week?
Last week I was working overnight shifts, which was a giant pain in the ass.
Oof.
I had to reschedule a doctor's appointment 3 times because, as it turns out, I can't function with like an hour and a half of sleep to get up to go to see a doctor and expect myself to, drive a car safely.
No, I totally get that. Mm-hmm.
But the good news is it was another appointment with a nutritionist, which was one step closer to getting approved for the surgery I'm going to get.
Yeah, I also have to see a nutritionist as well too. So
yeah, but I still have one more visit to go and then I have to, get the weight down so I actually be operated on, and then I'll have the a date for a bariatric surgery.
Well, that's good.
It's still quite a ways off, but I'm making progress.
Hey, that's all that matters.
Hmm. Also, I'm sure Mako told you about it last week, but I actually met up with her and we exchanged some rather belated gifts and hung out for a while.
Oh, that I didn't know. I'm glad y'all was able to meet up.
Oh, she didn't tell you?
No, if she did, I wasn't paying attention.
Oh.
This is me you're talking to.
Yeah, because I gave her a gift that I had bought for her like in December, and it's been just sitting there in the same packaging that it was mailed to me in, and she got it. She said it's going right up over the bar.
Well, that's good. And to go back in our chat here at Twitch TV/anime session, Bonds006 says we should all see a PCP primary care practitioner for our health. We pushing 50, sir. Good sir. We try not to let people know how old we are, but if you listen to this podcast, you know we're like lethal. We're kind of getting close to lethal weapon old around here because we are getting too old for this shit.
But yeah, that's about it for me.
No, that's good.
Nothing too special besides that.
Gotcha. For me, it's the same old. Like I said, last week I had off from work, which was nice. So I actually went out and did stuff. Like Friday after I did my work shift, I went to visit one of my cosplay friends, Julia. She had her 4th of July party, and I wore part of my jinbei. And if you're wondering what a jinbei is, if you ever seen my dress up darling, the blouse and shirt and shorts that Gojo wears, that's a jinbei. It looks like a martial arts uniform without a belt and shorts. I only wore half of it because the shorts were too small, and this was the biggest that they had. The top fit great. So the downside is I've been looking around trying to find another one in that that'll fit pants, because I liked wearing the whole outfit, and I had my Luigi bucket hat on. It was nice. It was cool. So there was that. And then Saturday, I went up and visited another friend of mine who has now turned out to be one hell of a stoner.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if I had known, I would have brought my stash. She was telling me how her job was so chaotic, and in order for her to get it through, she has to smoke a bowl in the morning. And I'm just like, I know that feeling all too well. No.
Just be careful you don't get busted for being high at work.
Well, she does customer service, so it's not so bad. I will tell you this now. There are people who can... I know people who can smoke more than me, and you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know. So, there is that. And then Sunday, I just kind of chilled and relaxed. I'm trying to think, what all did I do? I want to say... Yeah, I went out and I returned my old air conditioner, and according to Home Depot, I couldn't return it because it was past the 7 days. And I said, I bought it with my Home Depot card, and it says 1 year, so explain that, so you know. And I said, you know what? And they were giving me so much grief. I was like, you know what? I don't care. I absolutely do not care. I left the old air conditioner on their floor, and I walked out. I'm like, y'all can do what the hell y'all want to do, but just understand when the bill comes around, I ain't paying for it. I don't care if it dings my credit score. It's the principle. Because I know I can go anywhere else. I would have either 14 days or a 30-day return policy. And some places, if you have their store card, 1 year. 1 year. Bonzo 6 says, nah, go above their heads. Everyone has a boss. No. I've mellowed out in my older years. If this was 10, 15 years ago, I would have gone over their head and thrown the air conditioner at them. I would have gone post-thermal nuclear. I just don't care. And I'm going to call Home Depot, their customer service, and complain. And I'm like, I don't care. You can put it in my notes that I'm not paying for it. I'll pay for this air conditioner that I bought, but the one I return, I'm not paying for it. I don't care. Simple as that. Especially after the customer service rep says I shouldn't have any issues taking it back to the store. I'm just like, wow, really? So that's it with that. And then I end up going to Target because I decided to, make Instant Pot spaghetti. But by the time I got home and dealt with the power issues in my house, I just said screw it, and I just made leftovers. So what happened was I came in here and I turned on the AC, relaxed, then went into the kitchen to use the air fryer. Power went out to my room, and half the power went out in the kitchen. Spoke to one of the housemates. Come to find out, I was expecting to speak to one of the dudes, but the other guy came out of there. But it seems like I found out that about 2.5 weeks ago, one of the housemates moved out. And the guy that was living in the room next door moved into the bigger room. So I was like, oh shit. Thankfully, I would say, there's a room below me that's tied on the same circuit breaker. He was able to go in and fix it twice. Because I discovered on the second time that it was the AC that was causing this to happen. Now, I remember when I had the old AC and I would run the air fryer and it wasn't so bad, but I realized the old AC was 5,000 BTUs. That's good for 150 square feet. This one is 250 square feet, 6,000 BTUs. And I realized because of the electronics in my room, where the computer is right here, the TV and the consoles are over there, I should have gone with something more potent. But I'm like, I was in a rush to do a swap, no, whatever. It's here, it's done. I mean, if I really wanted to be that person, I can kind of know of a way to kind of do things, so it is what it is. So, anywho, enough about that. I'm sweltering just a scotch, and as much as I would love to exchange this 6,000 for an 8,000 model, I have a feeling if I turn that son of a bitch on, the entire house is just going to go out in under 5 minutes. I'd rather not risk that. So, enough about that. Let's get into some housekeeping notes here. Don't forget that episodes of Anime Jam Session are available on our podcasting VOD at just youtube.com/Anime Jam Session. Episodes go live, if you want to see the video, Thursdays at 12 noon, which is kind of cool, and I really appreciate y'all who subscribe to our YouTube feed. Also, want to let you know that Wisteria Witch VT, a good friend of the show, is doing Fans View Fridays. Fans View Fridays is where she goes into the Internet Archive and pulls up a convention covered by the late great Kevin Lillard and discusses the convention and the photos. This week she will be doing Anime Iowa 2000, which is Friday. Like I said, Fans View Friday. Next Friday it'll be AWA 2000, followed by NDK 2000, which is non-DESCON, and August 1st, NecoCon 2000. And I also realized I was planning to go to NDK this year because they're having this special cosplay contest, and they're honoring Kevin Lillard, and it's on I think it's Labor Day weekend or the weekend prior. I totally forgot to book a room. The entire room, the con block is sold out. So I'm like,
that sounds about right.
Yeah. So I'm like, let me check my connections. And by connections, I'm talking about Trivago, Hotel Engine, and a few others. Yeah, I'm not spending $1,200.
$1,200?
That's like $300 a night. I'm staying out there for like 4 nights.
Yeah, I figure that, but that's still way too much for a room.
Well, it's a hotel. What do you... Ari, you do realize when we're at conventions, we're not paying the hotel price?
Yeah, we're paying the special rate we got for being in the room block.
Imagine how much those room... You know what? The next convention we go to, you should look up the price and see how much we're saving.
Oh, I believe we're saving a lot, but I just... looking at it be like, ugh.
I just found it funny for a few years. Anime Next, I was just calling in and just getting the normal hotel rate because the hotel rate was cheaper than the con rate.
Really? Anime Next being ass backwards about something?
Yeah, who would have thought? I should actually post that on my Facebook. Fun fact: the last 3 years Anime Next was in Somerset, the hotel rate was cheaper than the convention rate.
Oh, do it.
Well, um, and what's funny is they can't look it up on the website because if you go to animenext.org, the site is legitimately gone. It's just code up there telling you, yeah, I think you need to update the server or some shit like that. So enough about that. Let's see. Yeah, that's the long and short of it. So we're good with that. I'm going to fix spaghetti tomorrow. You know, all that good stuff. So next up is our housekeeping. Want to let you know. Oh, I already did housekeeping. Update, you piece of trash. There we go. Geek Roundtable. Geek Roundtable is where we discuss more about the geekier aspects of our weekend day and what we've been up to. And we take this opportunity to kind of show stuff off if you like. So, what you got for Geek Roundtable there, Ari?
Well, while I was on the subject of visiting Mako,
Yeah.
Let me get this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the things I got from her was this new Lego build, and
Yeah.
like a dozen or so sets, still in the same box I packed them in,
Yeah.
and this thing gets to jump the line.
You know what you should do? I don't know.
Stream building the stuff.
Yeah, like I have some calm, jazzy anime music playing in the background.
I had thought about it,
Yeah.
but
And do your best, Bob Ross.
not sure if I could go that far. But anyway, this is a plum blossom. Looks very nice, doesn't it?
It does. But what I
And
meant,
What'd you say?
what I meant was if you had a small room, sort of have like a room for all of your Legos on display, you know?
I just have them on the shelves up above the
That's
room.
even better, yeah. And you have some lights going in the background to kind of display, you know, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, but more often than not, I'm the only person up here that sees them.
That's the point. It's for you, not for anybody else.
Well, I mean, a couple I might end up putting downstairs in the living room, like on one of the bookshelves I still need to put together.
Look, if I had my own place again, believe you me, all of my figures would be on display. And it could be months before people come visit. I don't care. I'd come home. I just love to see my stuff on display.
Mm-hmm.
And to go back to what we discussed earlier, Bonds006 says, so I learned that going to cons with others, the hotel rates are usually lower than the con rates. That's far and few. Like I said, Anime Next was the only one that did that. Everybody else, it was cheap. I will say, if you are looking to undercut the hotel and the con rate, see if your job is part of Hotel Engine. You can get rooms slightly cheaper than Trivago and everybody else. But also check Trivago, Google Hotels, and throw the dates in there, because sometimes you can get lucky. And what's interesting is, like if you can just do a Google search for this weekend for you and a +1 or whatever, and don't be too surprised that the rate is much cheaper. That's how they try to get rid of the rooms and stuff. Also, he says, whenever I am invited or attending a con, I learn to price shop and always compare the rates the con posts and the rates of the area hotels have. Yep.
You got to do stuff like that.
See, now that thing is, I used to do that. But when I got more into this here, I always stayed at the con hotel because, and as people would say, why don't you stay somewhere else? I'm not schlepping my equipment.
Yeah, all that equipment you have to drag back and forth between the room and the con itself is bad enough. But having to do it over several blocks to actually get to the con.
Like the only time I didn't mind doing that was when that one time we all went to MagFest and we stayed across the street. I was doing press more for us, so I had no problems going back and forth with my camera to take pictures. So But since like I said, I have all these figures I bought. I haven't really shown them off, and it's going to be a while before I put them in storage. I am going to show them off. All right. Let me. I'm just gonna go ahead right over here and grab one of the figures. This one's already out on display, but and I'll tell you why in just a bit.
All right, take your time with it.
Okay. So those of you who are watching the stream might have got a glimpse of that figure and know what it is. But if you didn't, good. If you did, good. Either or. This is Marin Kitagawa as Shizuku-tan from My Dress Up Darling. This is the Shizuku version. There is a variant of this figure where it's just her blonde hair. I think she has like her regular red nails or whatever. Whereas the Shizuku-tan one is full cosplay, black nails, everything, the whole 9 yards. And there is an interesting story behind this. Now, when I was in Nakano Broadway in Lashenbong, which is the name of a chain of anime shops. They sell new and secondhand. So it's like an anime, of sorts. It's like anime and Madarake. And in some places, it's a lower cost. Now, I have bought all of my figures, including this My Dress Up Darling Shizuku figure. Now, I didn't realize it. I saw this figure. Show it off again. I saw this figure on display again. No, not actually. Yeah, I saw this figure on display. And I'm like, let me get this. It was out. There was no box. And since I had bought stuff from the guy's other store, I was able to get a 200 yen discount if I showed the receipt. So I paid, I believe, 1,500 yen for this. I have all my receipts somewhere. So
she also seems rather precariously balanced on that heart.
Yeah. I know she is. I think I have another one of her as Shizuku-tan in storage. But when I got home and I had gone through everything, actually no. Yeah, when I got home and got through everything, I realized I had already bought this brand new in the box. I already shipped it to Maka so she could put it in my storage. So there's that. So what happened was another friend, y'all know her, Rose, friend of the one of our staffers. She went to Japan like a few months back, and some of her stuff is still coming because she did the whole 2-month by sea option. I did, I want my stuff in a week. I'll pay this extra cash. So there is that. So what happened was I posted this and some other figures, and she mentioned something about, I got to add this to my list. And I said, well, granted that I have 2 of these, so this one has a new home. And some of you are probably like, well, why don't you sell it? Yes, I paid 1,700 yen for this, which is about $15. This retails...
Not bad for a figure.
You know how much this figure will run you in the States?
$80.
About 50, 60, depending on where you go and shipping and all of that. You gotta understand, all of the figures that you see at conventions, 90% of them are dirt cheap. Don't count the Atelier line. The Ateliers or like the 4-foot tall bunny. Do not count those. These figures, 90% of them are under $20 or 2,000 yen. There's a few that are under 3,000, but still comes up to be a lot cheaper. All of the figures I bought, I think I spent maybe about $300 altogether, which was about 30,000 yen. Might be a little bit more. I know I probably would have shot out about a couple grand if I bought them here. So
yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like if I really wanted to, I can go into Wonderlog and log all my receipts. I actually have a spreadsheet of all the figures that I bought, and I know how much I paid and all of that stuff. So there's all of that. So there's that. So this is going to a new home in a couple of months, and I'm going to get the one in storage out and put it on display. So that's the story behind that. And then next week I will probably show off 1 or 2 figures till I get them all out, because I have, besides the My Sakurajima plush that's sitting up there, I have 6 figures up there, and I've shown off 2 of them. The remaining 4 I got while I was in Japan. They're still in the box because that's a reminder for me. I eventually have to clear off that shelf and get them on display. So there is that. And now that's what I'll do. Now to go back to our chat here, and then we'll get into tonight's stories. Bonzo6 says, I once booked a room at the MGM Grand for Otakon for $400 less than the Gaylord. For more info, I wanted to cross the Potomac River in a boat like I was George Washington. Don't judge me. I respect that. The only downside is, the further away you are from the hotel, from the con area, yes, it's cheaper. You kind of make up for the cost by driving. Yeah.
Parking, gas.
Yeah. That's usually the downside. But I mean, if you're just going to the con just to hang out and chill and have a good time, then it's not that big of a deal. It's not like you're going back and forth to changing cosplay and stuff like that. So there is that. So enough about that. We got that going. Oh yeah, I am 1 episode away from finishing Windbreaker season 2. 2 episodes away from finishing Fire Force season 3. A couple episodes away from finishing the Shuichi Family Children, and I've been watching the live-action Your Boy Konming. I'm 2 episodes away from that, and the live-action series, I think it covers the first 2 seasons and I think maybe the animated movie. So season 2, the anime is supposed to drop, I think, this month or next, or January, something like that. Either or, I'm excited about that. I believe I have caught up. I've watched, I know I watched some new anime recently. Call It a Night season 2 I did watch. Let's see. I'm trying to look at my list, my anime list here, and kind of make sure it's doing what it's supposed to. Yeah. Call It a Night season 2 I watched, and Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus. Episode 1 of season 2 of that I did watch. So I'm basically caught up. So now that we got that all out the way, let's get into tonight's story. So let's take a look here. Ari, why don't you kick things off? We'll just go back and forth.
Okay, Flow World Tour is bringing Naruto music to North America and Europe this fall.
Ooh.
The band Flow revealed plans to spread the Naruto love around the world later this year. Flow World Tour 2025 Naruto The Rock is on its way to North America and Europe this fall, delivering the band's signature Naruto songs as well as covers of other famous tunes from the series. For the original Naruto anime adaptation to Boruto, Flow will perform songs like Go, Sign, and Gold.
Yes.
Much like the band's 2023 album Flow the Cover and Naruto Shibari, the set list will also include fan favorite covers such as performances of Haruka Kanata, Silhouette, and more. No tour dates have been announced yet, but Naruto The Rock plans to hit over 30 performances across North America and Europe. Flow email newsletter registrants will get access to a worldwide pre-sale that'll be held quote-unquote soon.
Well, I know I have a concert this weekend, and I'm looking at, there was somebody else that was doing a show, I think Crystal Key. I think I wanted to go to her concert, but that might be a little bit too late. But the Flow World Tour, I wouldn't mind going because I saw them at Anime Next like 10 plus years ago. And actually, it was like closer to 15 years ago. That was fun. So might just have, I just pinged my friend Julia because she cosplays Sakura Haruno, the most useless ninja in the entire series. So see if she wants to go. Maybe I can convince her to show up as Tamari as I pull together Shikamaru. All I know is that Tuna Invest doesn't fit my fat ass anymore. All right, let's see what else we have here. Let's move this up some. All right, so this anime caused some controversy in the 90s. If you remember, it was called. We all seen The Lion King. We all know Simba the Simba, but there was also Kimba the White Lion, and that was an anime that came out in the 60s, and then there was a lawsuit between I think Tezuka Osamu's estate and other companies suing Disney over copyright infringement, and they somehow lost, which made no sense to me. Sometimes if you look around at conventions, you might see somebody walking around with a T-shirt that has both Kimba and Simba on it. It says "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the cheatest one of them all?" Something like that. Well, anyhow, it seems that we're going to see a remake of the original anime. Multimedia company Enlight announced at their panel at AX that the company is working on a remake. The original series is called Jungle Emperor Leo, and here is called Kimba the White Lion. Enlight did not mention the format of the remake and which part of the story it'll tackle. The numerous anime adaptations of Tezuka's original manga told different parts of the story alongside original stories as well. The manga ran in Gatakosha's Manga Shonen magazine from 1950 to 1954. The manga tells the story of a white lion raised by humans named Leo. On the official website, the story goes like this. Right on the equator in Africa, there is a white lion by the name of Panja. He governs the jungle as the king of animals. One day he is shot by a hunter while his wife is captured alive to be sent to the zoo. On the ship heading to the zoo, she gives birth to a baby boy and names him Leo, telling him, "You must go back to Africa and become the emperor after your father." After letting him escape from the ship, she dies as the ship was sunk in a storm. Leo arrives at a port town in Arabian Peninsula, not Africa, where he meets a boy by the name of Kenichi and is raised by him. A year later, Leo and Kenichi accompany an investigation team dispatched to Mount Moon in Africa for the purpose of researching Moonstone, a raw stone generating energy. Leo, who sees the jungle for the first time, shows disgust at wild animals killing each other. But he comes to regain his confidence and become the great emperor by establishing the Jungle Empire to protect weak animals. The manga's first television series adaptation aired from 1965 to 66, and the latest adaptation, titled Jungle Emperor Leo Hon-Oji, one of the many original animated short films screened at Tezuka Osamu's World Tezuka Osamu Animation Theater in Kyoto, premiered in 2000. Tezuka produced these anime adaptations first at his Mushi Production Studio, and later at his Tezuka Production successor studio. Enlight aims to bring Black and Indigenous stories in partnership with the global creators. Afrime, or Afro Anime, it's hand-drawn 2D animation. The company plans to produce Afrime films and television series. Enlight Japan is also working on upcoming projects based on anime and manga IP. The studio is producing the Infinda film and is also producing Chihire, Child of the Sea. That's interesting. And Bazo says he's watched Kimba about a week ago. Good stuff, my man. All right, Ari, what's going on with Ghost in the Shell?
Let's see. Uh, there's a Ghost in the Shell anime series plans comprehensive exhibition in 2026.
Nice.
It plans the franchise plans to hold the first large-scale comprehensive exhibition to cover all of its anime series entitled Ghost in the Shell: The Exhibition at Tokyo Node, Toronomon Hills in Tokyo from January 30th to April 5th, 2026. And there's a trailer on the website that you can look at. It's also on YouTube. This is the first large-scale exhibition in the history of Ghost in the Shell, covering all the works in the anime series with full cooperation of Production IG, which has been in charge of animation production for the series since the first feature film in 1995. and Science Saru, which is in charge of new animation to air in 2026, allowing visitors to experience the 30-year history of the anime series in a comprehensive manner. In addition to works by past directors such as Mamoru Oshii, Kenji Kamiyama, Kazushika Kisei, and Shinji Aramaki, the exhibition will also include works related to Science Saru's new anime. Visitors will be able to compare and contrast the unique themes and worldviews of each work. More than 600 rare and valuable materials, including never-before-seen materials such as key animation drawings, setting materials, storyboards, and etc., created during the entire production process of the anime series will be on display. Additionally, many original goods exclusive to the exhibition will be on sale during the exhibition period. Tickets are scheduled to go on sale in fall of 2025. And there's also overseas tour dates for it as well, but those dates aren't available yet.
Seems legit.
So if you're a big Ghost in the Shell fan, you don't want to miss this.
Definitely. Also, I want to say real quick, even though we are basically kind of halfway through the show, in the event that my power goes out, that's it. I will wait to because I don't know where the circuit breaker is in this place, so I have no idea what the ETA would be to get power back up and running. So if power goes out, that's it for the show. When I get power back, the episode will be posted online for your listening and viewing pleasures. That's all. That's all I want to say real quick. And now that we got that out the way, let's talk about one of my favorite Japanese series.
Is it raining a lot by you?
Well, I don't know about raining, but it started to rain when I got off the bus coming home, and I'm glad I grabbed an umbrella from work. I think I might have heard some thunder, but I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. I know it's supposed to rain tomorrow as well, so I'll have to pack my personal umbrella so I can return the one from work. So, anywho, this show is very popular with me and Mako. We absolutely love it. It's Alice in Borderland. Think of it as Alice in Wonderland with a touch of Squid Games, something like that. It's kind of interesting. It's really good, and we thought it was done till they're actually adapting, like, I think the side story or something like that. But anywho, open this up real quick. Netflix has revealed a brand new trailer that the third live-action series based on Haruo Aso's Alice in Borderland, better known as Imowa no Kuni no Alice manga, will premiere September 25th. Yes. This is basically the description of the new season. In the previous season, Arisu and Usagi cleared all of the games and returned to the real world. They have since gotten married and established a happy life together. Their memories of the Borderland were erased, but they see glimpses of it in dreams and hallucinations. One day, Usagi, led by afterlife researcher Ryuji, suddenly vanishes. At the same time as Usagi's disappearance, Banda hands Arisu the final card, the Joker. Lead cast members Kento Yamazaki, who was in Live Action Kingdom, Orange, Hyuga, Your Lie in April, and Tao Tsuchiya, who was in Sing a Bit of Harmony, Orange, and Rurouni Kenshin, as well as director Shinsuke Sato, who worked on live action Bleach, the Kingdom films, and Oblivion Island anime film, are all returning. Kazutaka Sakamoto is the executive producer of the new season. He had worked on Yu Yu Hakusho, the live action series. Akira Mori and Daiju Takase are producing. Robot is planning and producing the season in collaboration with The Seven. And it's not The Seven that you think. The first season debuted on Netflix in December 2020. It was the most viewed live-action series in Japan in 2020, and it ranked in Netflix's top 10 in 40 countries and territories worldwide. The second season premiered on Netflix worldwide December 22nd, 2022. Ooh, I cannot wait. Anywho, let's see, moving right along here. Now this was something I've been hearing about for the last week and a half or so. So hopefully it is true. Ari, tell them about the Sailor Moon Museum.
Uh, well, Sailor Moon and Super Live traveled overseas for performances in London and America, but both tours have finished and they're not doing any encore laps. And they've announced that both casts are headed home to Japan for a run at the Sunrise Theater in Tokyo from October 9th to 13th.
Mm-hmm.
There's even a bit of international prestige as they're being billed as Team US and Team UK promotions, and with respect to posters, showed a Sailor Senshi standing in front of glittery rainbow recreations of New York and London skylines. But the Sailor Moon Museum will be going overseas. The Sailor Moon Museum is actually a traveling exhibition displaying artwork and artifacts chronicling over 30 years of Sailor Moon history, with artifacts from the manga, anime, and live-action version of the story. After starting in Tokyo, the Sailor Moon Museum then moved to Fukuoka, Osaka, and Nagoya. It's a very impressive collection, but it's never been displayed outside of Japan before. What's more, the organizers say that the museum will quote-unquote power up for its overseas debut, implying there may be new items or aspects the visitors will be able to see for the first time. No venue information has been released at this point, but with Sailor Moon having a huge fan base in North America, Latin America, Europe, and elsewhere in Asia, pretty much anywhere in those regions is a viable candidate, and the choice of language and the outset that the exhibit is going overseas without mentioning a specific country could be a sign that multiple countries are on the list.
I think so too.
So yeah, there's some pretty big museums that you just know it'll hit up.
Or it could be like a modified warehouse or something that's decked out as like a walk-through museum, sort of like IKEA in a way. All right, and our last story is Gundam Wing and Kentucky Fried Chicken. We do Gundams right, I guess. I don't know. So it seems that the KFC Gundam Bucket is here to celebrate 30 years of the franchise's breakout overseas hit. Though Gundam has always been a big deal in Japan, Gundam Wing was when the franchise really found its foothold among overseas anime fans. Prior to that series, just about every Gundam anime was a sequel or spin-off of the original Mobile Suit Gundam, meaning that to get the most out of them, you had to be familiar with the complex storyline of a 1979 TV show with a high episode count that already very much looked its age. Then came along Gundam Wing, which was a breath of fresh air with its start-from-scratch alternate timeline story, contemporary visuals, and cast of handsome pilot boys. At the same time, Wing stayed true to the franchise's military mecha robot roots, in contrast to the Street Fighter-esque Mobile Fighter G Gundam from a year prior, introducing international fans to the overarching themes and motifs of the Gundam franchise. In other words, Gundam Wing has a special place in the hearts of many overseas anime fans for whetting their appetite for Gundam anime, and if some of those fans also have an appetite for fried chicken, they can enjoy both at once, the team up between Gundam Wing and KFC Hong Kong. The promotion, which kicked off July 3rd, includes an offer which diners who order one of two combo meals, which is priced at 139 Hong Kong dollars, and before you have a coronary, that's only $17.70.
Yeah.
Now, you'll get these meals, and there'll be two randomly selected stickers of a Gundam Wing pilot and his mecha included. This part of the collaboration appears to be specifically targeted at customer pairs, since they not only include double portions of fried chicken, sandwiches, and sides, but also two soft drinks, which makes it unlikely that the solo customers will order it for themselves and lug half home to eat later. Oh,
unless they're fat shits and being really hungry.
Oh, you'd be surprised. Officially, it seems that no. All right, so let's see. Anywho, the KFC Gundam bucket isn't a freebie like the stickers. Instead, it's part of a batch of Gundam Wing items that can be purchased for an additional charge by customers who are also ordering the Hong Kong $49, who are also ordering food as well. You have to spend at least 49 Hong Kong dollars to get it. However, the KFC Gundam bucket isn't a freebie like the stickers. Instead, it's part of a batch of Gundam Wing items that can be purchased for an additional charge. Oh, yeah, I already said that. Whoops, my bad. In addition to the 268 Hong Kong dollars Wing Gundam Zero bucket, there are also acrylic standees, character standees, lanyards, wireless charging pads, and coffee mugs. I wouldn't mind the lanyard. That's cool. The logic behind the promotion's timing is a little fuzzy since it's being billed as a celebration of the 30th anniversary of Gundam Wing, which did indeed begin airing on Japanese TV in 1995. However, the design of the Wing Gundam Zero used for the bucket and promotional art was actually from Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, the OVA sequel to the TV series. And that was released in 1997. And it was re-edited into a theatrical feature in 1998. Either way, though, Gundam Wing's KFC promotion runs through August 13th. See, that makes a lot of sense because I remember seeing like Gundam Wing Endless Waltz and Gundam Wing the movie. I was like, this kind of looks one and the same, and lo and behold, kind of is.
Right now, I got pictures of someone just eating like.
What?
You know, is it like they're saying it's a Gundam with a mouthful of fried chicken as they die?
Oh, good lord.
What's this? I just feel chicken emotion. Oh.
What is it?
At the beginning of the article.
Oh, yeah. Instead of just one dream, it's just one wing.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Fungal. All right. We got that out of our system. Now we're going to get to the part of the show that I really like to stick around for. Meanwhile, in Japan. All right. Ari, you get players.
You can pick the first one.
Oh.
Which one you want first?
I am going
Did
to
you hear me?
Yep, I'm going to take the last story.
Okay, I will take the second one, I guess.
I had a feeling.
I should not have gone out naked, you don't say.
Ha!
When caught acting inappropriately, it's important to show remorse. Obviously, you can't turn back the clock and undo what's been done, but expressing that you now understand your behavior was inexcusable is a necessary step toward rehabilitation, since it carries the implication that you try to avoid repeating the same mistakes in the future. So the completely nude man who was arrested by Japanese police at a Shinto shrine on Wednesday now realizes that he could have made better choices. On July 2nd, police in Shikokucho, Ehime Prefecture, received reports from residents of the Doicho neighborhood that there was a naked man walking through the neighborhood with it specific mention that his junk was exposed. Before officers could arrive on the scene, the man had moved on and so they began a search, which ended at a local shrine where they found the still unclothed individual. He was immediately placed under arrest for public indecency. And no, there wasn't a naked festival going on at the shrine. The man has admitted to the charges, and they would have been pretty hard to deny, seeing as he was naked when the cops found him. Shrines in Japan don't really have interiors that can be accessed by non-staff, so when you visit one, you're essentially still in public. But there's more to the man fessing up to the crime than simply being caught red-handed and bare-assed, as a statement to the police said, "I should not have gone out naked."
You think?
Yeah. The 48-year-old man is a resident of Shikokucho, And while it's surprising they go for a stroll naked with the community he lives in, speaking particularly, it's pretty hard to get very far from home on foot without any clothes on,
Mm.
especially since he was arrested at 10:40 in the morning, meaning that he was slinking around under cover of darkness. And police are investigating the motive he could have had, while people online are speculating that it's been really hot in Japan the last couple of days, and that some people think he might be a Terminator. Oh boy.
I will say, when I did go to Japan back in May, the first few days it was blistering hot, and then it just kind of leveled off. I got lucky, as everyone would say.
Right,
Oh, trust me, I'm feeling that too. And now for our final story of the night from Meanwhile in Japan. A company president was arrested for making employee admit to his hit and run accident. What? Let's see, where do we go here? It is known that the mass media tends to skew perception of the real world. But with the number of reports you hear about people driving without a license, it's almost as if 1/3 to half the half of everyone on the road doesn't have a license. It's certainly possible, since as long as you follow the rules and stay safe, you can safely drive for a very long time without anyone asking to see it. Okay. However, when an accident occurs, the deceit completely unravels and leaves the driver liable for far worse punishments than a licensed one. They are then faced with the choice of confronting their lie or trying to weave a more entangled web, as one resident of Kobe City, Hyogo Prefecture, unwisely attempted to do. So about 10 o'clock that morning on June 28th, the 37-year-old president of a food and beverage company was driving a K truck and rear-ended a car in front of him. Now, a K truck is like a really small, compact truck with a small, compact pickup truck. That's the best way I can describe it. Anywho, the impact injured a passenger in the other car, but the president fled the scene without providing first aid. Ooh, that's not good. After the accident occurred, the president asked one of his employees to turn himself in, pretending to be the one who caused the crash. The 27-year-old employee was either a victim of power harassment or incredibly loyal to his company, because he agreed and went to the police roughly 7 hours after the accident occurred. However, neither the man nor his story fits to the details of the investigation. And above further questioning, he admitted that he was asked by the president to do what he did. This resulted in the employee being arrested for concealing a criminal, and his boss being brought in for both the booth and the hit and run without the driving without a license. The president immediately admitted to what he did, telling police that he didn't want to be caught driving without a license. Meanwhile, some readers of the news online expressed a complete lack of surprise when the criminal scheme did not plan out. Comments such as, "There is no way the police would have caught on to it. That employee cracked pretty easily. Well, there's no way to tell. There's no way he would have known the details of the accident accurately because he wasn't there. Only a stupid employee would agree to that, but so obviously they figured it out." That's some of the quotes you heard people say about our friend Rich. Anyway. Indeed, while the police in Japan are humans just like anyone else and certainly not immune to clumsiness or foibles, it is important to know that they can accidentally be tenacious at times and chase people halfway across the country for shoplifting some ground beef.
Yeah, this poor lower level employee was very much, press ganged into taking the fall for it. I refuse to believe anything else.
You too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and now we get that out the way, I believe that is everything. Yeah, We have covered an entire show in under an hour. I think that's a new record.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yes, it does. And now let's go ahead and wrap the show up because I don't know about you, but I'm a little tired. I want to get a little bit extra sleep tonight. So if you like tonight's show, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters. So what we like and don't like, we're telling you straight up. So if you have any questions about the show, please drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. Yeah. So if you can, check out, let's see, what did I put here? Okay, good. All right, so after you check out our podcast and drop us an email, visit our website at animejamsession.com. You will see on our website, let's see, let me move this over here. Perfect. All right, on our website, you will see cosplay tips and tricks, cosplay interviews, links to our YouTube page and Facebook page of convention and cosplay coverage. You will also see our convention calendar, anime reviews, editorials, a lot of cool stuff and more on our site at animejamsession.com. Alright, don't forget to follow us on our social media pages. Anime Jam Session on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Blue Sky. Come through, hang out, say hi. We appreciate all of you who follow us on our socials because y'all are awesome like that. Ooh, it's getting a little warm in here. Now, if you're still watching, down below is our tip jars. Direct links to us. Any money that goes in that tip jar keeps the website going and other cool stuff. So, down below is our direct link to our Stream Elements, our Streamlabs, and our Ko-Fi. If you want, you can cheer us on in the channel with bits. You can also sub to the channel as well. Alright, now we go around the room. Last words, Ari.
I gotta be up at 4:30 in the morning, so yeah, I'm gonna get out of here too.
Well, there's a bunch of chocolate in the freezer. I kind of want to crack one of the bars open and try one of them because I went to a Lido the other day, so just curious. So that is it. End of list. All right. So, anywho, I think it's time for us to just basically transform and roll out for tonight. We had fun with Joe. We'll hope that you come back next week. So, I'm Ranma.
And I'm Ari.
Great fight. Great night. See you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Say goodnight, Ari.
Good night, Ari.
And I'll throw it in there too. Good night, Ranma. Take care, y'all. We'll see you all next week. Peace out.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!